Okay, so we're just gonna jump right in. I like to use my Precisely My Brow pencil from Benefit. I use the shade number 4, and it matches my hair pretty well. So I take the spoolie side of the brow, and I just I take the spoolie side of the pencil, and I brush up all the hairs on my eyebrow first. And then what I like to do is go in and use a really light hand. I use a really light hand and just kind of start feathering in my brow. So I start on the bottom portion of my brow, and I kind of draw a line on the base, so the shape that I want. So this is the shape that I want underneath my brow. Now I'm going to take the pencil and feather hairs upward. So I'm doing light strokes, especially towards the center of my brow, and I'm just flicking them up, creating hair-like strokes. So I just do that until I feel like the areas in between my brow that are sparse are filled in. And especially towards the middle, I make sure that I'm using a super light hand because I don't want those like box eyebrows. So yeah, I just do that until I feel like I like the shape that I have, and it's filled into the shape that I want. So now you can see the difference between both eyes. This one has more of a shape, and this one is, you know, kind of dull. I do need to get an eyebrow wax, so I'm going to show you how I clean up my eyebrows and make sure that the hairs underneath aren't really showing through. So yeah, after I fill in the brows on the bottom and then I do my hair-like strokes upwards, I keep it more dark towards the end because I like that faded look. But yeah, so I just fill in all those sparse areas. And now what I do is I brush the hairs down. I brush the hairs down so that I can see on top of my eyebrow what I need to fill in, and so I don't go too high over my brow. So I do kind of the same technique as the bottom, and I just start making a shape on the top. So I like my brows to be kind of straighter, but with a little angle at the bottom. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. So I'm just kind of drawing a line. Oh, this is hard to do while I talk. I'm just drawing a line on the top and mimicking the same arch that I have. And again, keeping it lighter in the front. Yeah, I go darker on the outsides. And I also like to keep it kind of thin at the tail of my eyebrow. So after I do all that, I take the spoolie side of the brush and I kind of just brush all that pencil throughout my brow so that there's no harsh lines or anything. And towards the front, I kind of brush all those strokes upwards. And like that. But always remember, brows are sisters, not twins, so they don't have to be perfect, but I try to make them look as even as possible. Okay, so now what I'd like to do to clean up my eyebrows, because you could probably see that there is some hair underneath here that needs to be waxed off. And then I also like to clean up the lines and make it more sharp. So what I like to do is go in with a flat concealer brush. This one is from Sigma. It's the F75. And then I like to go in with a full coverage concealer. So the most full coverage concealer I have that is a cream based one is the MAC Studio Finish Concealer and I use the shade NC35. And what I like to do is just take some of the concealer, and I like to use thicker concealers and cream based concealers as opposed to a more liquidy concealer like the sharp like the Tarte Shape Tape, because I feel like I have more control over the product and I can move it where I want it to be. With the more liquidy ones, you can, go off track easily. So what I do is take some concealer on the flat brush, and I start on the edge, and I just kind of go underneath that line that I made and sharpen it up like that. And it also gives you like a natural highlight on your eyebrow bone. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue with that. So I fill it in there, and then I take the brush and I kind of just drag it forward. And if you need to put more product on the brush, then go right ahead. And I just drag it forwards instead of going like this, because I feel like I have more control when I drag it forward. But once that is down, I then go back and really clean it up. So now I have this sharper line underneath, and I just drag it down a bit to blend out, because you don't want any harsh lines with this eyebrow highlight. That's the thing that I see a lot with using a lighter concealer. You have to be careful and make sure you blend it out, because you don't want like harsh lines and for it to look crazy. So yeah, sometimes I just take my finger and blend it in, because with this concealer especially, the warmth of your finger really melts the product into your skin. So yeah, that's all I do. And as you can see, from this eyebrow to this eyebrow, there's a natural highlight underneath the eyebrow, and I also cleaned up those lines, made it sharper, and it makes it look like I've had a fresh eyebrow wax, when in reality I haven't. So that's the bottom of it. Sometimes if I'm feeling extra, or there's a lot of hairs on top, or if I mess up the top part of my eyebrow, I'll take concealer, but this one is in a different shade. It's the same kind of concealer, just in a different shade. This one is NC45 by MAC, and it's my skin tone, well, the closest to my skin tone. And I take this concealer on the same flat brush, and this part is a bit more tricky. I just draw the line on top of the eyebrow like that. Don't worry, it's not going to stay like this. And then I clean up this side. And as you can see, that just even cleaned it up even more. So I kind of flick it up to blend it upwards. And I just take a blending brush. This is the Morphe E23. And I kind of just, you know, blend that up. And yeah, there's your eyebrow. Okay, so now, that was weird. Okay, so now I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Tinted Brow Gel, and I use the shade Chocolate because sometimes I feel like my eyebrows can look a bit too on the ashy side with that brow pencil. So I like to use this brow gel. I flick them up in place and then I take it around. So yeah, so I use this color so that it adds a little bit more warmth back into my eyebrow hairs. So yeah, I flick up the center part because I like the centers to be more like kind of bushy, I guess, and then the sides to lay flat. And this eyebrow gel keeps your eyebrows in place all day. They're not gonna like go down here and like be out of the shape. It's gonna keep them tamed and in place. But you don't have to buy eyebrow gel, to be quite honest. Like, you can use like a mascara, like a brown mascara, or you can use even a black one if you have really dark hair. So yeah, that's this is my eyebrow. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. And like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.